The day before my Uncle Bill died, colon cancer, he told everybody he was going to the Pick and Play to see Paul tomorrow. Paul, his best buddy, had been dead for about 7 years. He said it several times and followed it up with a genuinely happy smile. It was really comforting. We were just glad he felt like he was going somewhere homey, his usual spot, to drink beer, rub scratch-off tickets, and see good friends again. Not really a solid premonition, considering he had been hospitalized and at death's door for weeks. But I thought I'd mention it, because it was a positive experience for him and the family, and a lot of premonitions lean in the creepy and macabre direction. Don't know if you really care for anecdotes, but here goes. I had a friend in high school who gave away some of her possessions, including a picture book she spent her junior and senior year creating. She said some odd things, obviously in retrospect, about her faith. She was pretty religious, so I think it was odd for her to talk about this stuff. A few weeks after she'd given up some of her personal possessions, she died in a car accident. It was creepy, to be honest. I remember at her wake there was a group of us talking, asking if she got into an accident on purpose, or if she was suicidal. But it seemed to be an honest accident, so the whole thing was just odd. Also, the accident happened a few miles from my home, making the whole thing just too close. When my daughter was 16, she had a recurring nightmare about a man doing horrible things to children. She'd never seen the man before, but could describe him perfectly. Long, stringy hair, slender, in his late 30s or early 40s, dirty and unkempt. One day, she was with me when I went to pick my son up from a friend's house. As my son climbed into the car, a man walked out of a house a few doors down. My daughter had a complete meltdown, screaming and crying that this was the man from her dreams. I got a quick look at the man before she completely panicked, locking the car doors and crying for me to just leave. When we got home, I talked to both children. Neither had ever seen this man before. I spoke to my son's friend's parents. They did not know the man either. They said he had moved in a few months prior and they rarely saw him outside. A few days after, a huge story broke about a child sex ring. And yep, it involved the same man. His name was Harry Robbs. This happened in Clovis, New Mexico in 2003. When my son was 2, me and my wife were going through a rough patch in our marriage. I wanted to work through the problems, but it didn't look like things were going to work out. One day, I was at work and had this thought, more like a picture. It was like if someone was sitting in the back of an SUV looking toward the front. I saw the inside of a vehicle we didn't own. We had an Accord. I saw my son. He appeared to be maybe a teenager. I saw a little girl to the left of him, maybe a few years old. And I saw me and my wife, slightly older, laughing and holding hands. It felt so real, I can't explain it. It gave me hope about our marriage. We did end up working through our problems. I never told anyone, not even her, what I saw because I thought she would think I'm nuts. About 5 years later, we were car shopping and looked at an SUV. When we got in, I knew this was the vehicle I saw in my head. We did end up buying it. 3 years later, she got pregnant and we had a little girl. My son was 11. Everything happened just like I saw it. Since then, I've had a lot of experiences like this. One of the students killed at Columbine, Rachel Scott, had a premonition that she would die soon. In fact, she drew 13 tears in a sketchbook just before the 2 classmates walked up and killed her. Her mom and dad wrote a book about it called Rachel's Tears. The 13 tears represented the 12 students and teacher who would be killed that awful day. Also, Rachel wrote in her diary that this was the last year of her life shortly before she died. The book makes you realize that she actually said and did quite a few things leading up to her death. It was as if she truly knew her time on earth was short. Hello everyone, Margbot here, obviously. This is totally unscripted, these little things that I add at the end of the video sometimes, so if I mess up, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say welcome to all of you who have found my channel recently because my channel has all of a sudden exploded. It's really amazing, and I'm grateful to have all of you here, whether you be a new subscriber or an old subscriber. You're all amazing, and I hope you're enjoying the content that I am putting out. I am sorry that this video is actually relatively short in comparison to some of the other ones. I had some trouble finding stories about premonitions that haven't already been done to death. So if any of you guys have any stories, no matter what the topic, please go ahead and send them to me. My email should be in the description below. And I mean, there's so many content creators that are looking for you guys to send their stories. But if for whatever reason you feel compelled to send it to me, please do. I'm always open to taking submissions, and I'm always appreciative of them. As of right now, my channel is at 960 subscribers, which completely blows my mind. Not sure how we got here, but I am so grateful to all of you who share and like and comment on my videos. It really, really means a lot to me. Anyway, I hope you're doing amazingly, and Margbot out.